door didn't slam, it just settled in place, like it knew better than to make a scene. You took your shoes, left a silence I faced every morning where your voice used to be. There's a dent in the couch I never fix, like a shape I'm afraid to erase. I still leave space in ordinary things, as if you might come back and take your place. You left in a way that didn't look like leaving. No shattered glass, no final goodbye, just a quiet unravel. I kept believing, but somehow rewind. You left, but I stayed in the echo of words we never said, in the version of us that slowly frayed, but never really felt dead. I kept holding the weight of something you already let go. You left, but I stayed where I wasn't supposed to. I memorized the sound of your keys at the door, like a song I could summon on cue. Now every footstep outside hits the floor, and for a second I think it's you. I told myself it just needed time, the distance was something we'd outgrow. But you moved on like it wasn't a climb, while I kept standing where you let go. There's a difference between staying and waiting. I learned it too late to escape. I was building a place worth saving, while you were already gone from the space. You left, but I stayed in the quiet that swallowed your name, in the habit of calling it love, even when nothing remained. I kept bending the shape of a truth I refused to know. You left, but I stayed somewhere you outgrew. I didn't chase you, I just didn't move. Like if I stayed still enough, you'd return. Funny how I confused loyalty with a lesson I had to learn. Somewhere between holding on and letting go, I forgot I was allowed to leave too. I was guarding a door you'd already closed, while losing the key to my own room. You left, but I stayed till the silence started sounding like truth, till I couldn't remember the way I used to exist without you. Maybe stay. Now I'm learning how to leave it too. There's a corner table by the window still, where the light hits soft around 4 p.m. I sat there today, ordered something I'd spill, just to have a reason to stay again. The chair across didn't make a sound, but I swear it carried your weight somehow. Like the air remembers you hanging around, even if you're nowhere now. I didn't expect the quiet to keep you in ways I don't know how to explain. It's not in the things that I hold on to, it's in what refuses to change. I still feel us in empty places, in rooms that don't know what we became, in the ghost of familiar spaces that whisper your name without using your name. Every silence retraces a version of us I can't replace. I still feel us in empty places. There's a street where the pavement bends just right, where you once reached out for my hand. I walked it alone in the fading light, tried to match the steps we once planned. I remember the rhythm of how we'd speak, like everything mattered, nothing could break. Now the echoes feel distant, incomplete, like a song missing notes it can't remake. I thought time would untangle the feeling, or soften the edges we knew, but it lingers in ways that don't need a reason to bring me back to you. I still feel us in empty places, in shadows that stretch a little too long, in the shape of forgotten traces that tell me you were here all along. Every memory faces the truth I keep trying to erase. I still feel us in empty places. Sometimes I think it's not you I miss, but the version of me you could see. How everything felt infinite before it learned how to leave. Maybe we don't disappear when it ends, maybe we stay where we used to begin. And I've been collecting fragments of something that won't let me in. I still feel us in empty places, but they don't feel empty anymore. in every empty place. Packed your things like it was overdue, like the ending had already been rehearsed. I stood there trying to follow through, but my lungs forgot how to work. There was still a warmth where you used to stay, in the space your shadow hadn't left. You were already miles away, while I was stuck mid-breath. I didn't know goodbye could happen that fast, without a moment to understand. You slipped into a future that didn't ask if I could keep up with where you ran. You moved on faster than I could breathe, like I was something you outgrew. While you were already alright, and I tried to catch up, tried to believe there was something I just couldn't see. You moved on faster than I could breathe. I found your name in a stranger's post, smiling like nothing had ever been wrong. It hurt in a way I can't expose, like I was the only one holding on. I replayed every word we said, looking for where it changed its tone. But you rewrote the ending in your head while I was still reading the old one. There's a cruel kind of quiet in being left behind when no one tells you why. You just wake up to a different timeline and learn how to survive. You moved on faster than I could breathe, like the past didn't leave a mark on you. I was still breaking silently, while you were already something new. And I kept asking what I didn't see, what made it so easy to leave me. You moved on faster than I could breathe. I don't think you meant to be this cold. Maybe you just knew how to let go sooner, while I was still tracing what we used to hold, like it had a chance to pull us through. Strange how the same love we shared taught us completely different ways to heal. You disappeared without looking back, and I stayed where it still felt real. You moved on faster than I could breathe, but I'm learning air doesn't need you to stay. It still finds its way through me, even when everything else would be there tonight when your voice fell quiet at the end, when the world narrowed down to a single line, and I couldn't find the right way to bend. But it lingers in smaller, quieter ways, like your name catching in my throat, in the spaces between ordinary days, where I still hear what you never wrote. I keep expecting it to fade with time, like everyone said it would, but the truth doesn't follow a straight line, the way I thought it should. I didn't know goodbye would hurt this long, that it would settle into everything, turn every silence into a song I never wanted to sing. I thought it would break, then be gone, like a storm that passes through. I didn't know goodbye would hurt this long, or stay the way it does with you. There's a jacket of yours I've never moved, hanging like time forgot to pass. I told myself I had nothing to prove, but I still walk around the past. I remember the way you said my name, like it meant something I could keep. Now it echoes without a place, somewhere between awake and asleep. I've been measuring healing in borrowed days, in moments that almost feel okay, but it always finds a way to circle back and stay. I didn't know goodbye would hurt this long, that it would follow me home at night, slip into places I thought were strong, and unravel them out of sight. I thought I'd learned to move on, like it's something people do. I didn't know goodbye would hurt this long, or stay this close to you. Sometimes I wonder if I held on too tight, or if I just didn't know how to let go. If love is supposed to fade with time, why does it still feel this close? Maybe goodbye isn't something we finish, maybe it's something we carry instead. I've been trying to diminish a feeling that never left. I didn't know goodbye would hurt this long, but I'm learning how to sit with the ache, how to live with something gone that still feels impossible to replace. And maybe one day I'll be strong, It started like any other night, your voice soft almost somewhere else. I didn't notice the way you paused, like you were editing yourself. I asked you something I can't recall, but I remember the space in between, where your answer didn't quite fall the way it used to lean. There was a shift I couldn't name, a silence dressed as something small. If I had listened a different way, would I have heard it all? I keep replaying our last conversation, like there's something I missed in the sound. Every word feels like a complication of a truth I can't track down. I slow it down, change the equation, but it always circles back around. I keep replaying our last conversation. You said take care like a closing line, like you'd already walked away. I laughed it off, said I'll be fine, but something in me didn't stay. There was a version of me right then, standing at the edge of knowing, but I chose the comfort of we're okay over the fear of where it was going. Now I carry the tone of your goodbye more than the words you used. There's a difference I can't deny between what's said and what's refused. I keep replaying our last conversation, like I can't rewrite how it ends. Find a pause, a hesitation, that means you'd call me again. I turn it into a situation where we're more than just we were friends. I keep replaying our last conversation. Sometimes I hear it in a different light, like maybe you wanted me to fight, to ask the question I avoided that night, instead of letting it feel polite. Strange how goodbye can sound so calm when it's already too late to change it. I held on to what felt like wrong, but never learned how to name it. I keep replaying our last conversation, but it doesn't change with time. It stays the same, quiet separation, hidden between every line. And maybe there's no explanation that will ever make it make sense. I keep replaying our last conversation, like it might bring you back again. us into a simple goodbye, like it fit in the space of a breath. No tremor, no question in your eyes, just a calm I couldn't interpret. I stayed in the doorway longer than needed, waiting for something to shift. But you moved like you'd already grieved it, like I was a weight you could lift. There was a quiet I couldn't read, no cracks in the way you spoke. If breaking looked anything like me, why did you look so whole? You let go like it was easy, like it didn't cost you a thing, like love was just something temporary. You could loosen without it clinging, and I stayed where it left me, trying to find what it meant. You let go like it was easy, while I'm still learning how to end. I traced back every step we took, looking for where it went wrong, but there was no page, no line in the book that warned me it wouldn't be long. I remember the way you held my hand, like you'd never release your grip. Now I don't understand how it slipped like it never existed. Maybe you practiced letting go long before you told me goodbye. Maybe I was the last to know we were already out of time. You let go like it was easy, like I wasn't something to keep, like I was just part of a story you could leave incomplete. And I'm stuck in the in-between of what we were and what we meant. You let go like it was easy, while I'm still wondering where you went. I don't think you meant to be cruel, maybe you just knew how to leave, while I was still holding on to everything you made me believe. Strange how the same love we shared turned into something so uneven. You walked away like you were prepared, and I stayed there still needing a reason. You let go like it was easy, but I'm learning it wasn't about me. Maybe you just knew how to carry less than what you gave to me. And I'm slowly, quietly untangling what's left of it. You let go like it was easy, but I'm still learning how to quit. I saw your name in a place I don't belong, someone else's story, someone else's life. You were smiling like nothing ever went wrong, like I was never part of your nights. almost typed something I'd regret. Watch the cursor blink like it knew the truth. There's a version of me you haven't met, still waiting somewhere inside of you. I try not to read between your lines or the silence you leave behind, but it's louder than anything you could write. Every time I wish you missed me too. In the quiet moments you can't outrun, when the world feels a little too still and there's nowhere left to run. I wish my name still moved you like it does when it crosses my mind. I wish you missed me too, even just sometimes. There's a habit of checking your last scene, like it holds something I need to know. But all it shows is where you've been and how easily you let me go. I remember the way you'd say my name, like it meant something you'd never lose. Now it's just a sound I can't reclaim from a life I didn't choose. I wonder if I cross your mind at all, or if I faded out of you like a picture you forgot to hold. But I never stopped holding you. I wish you missed me too, when the nights stretched longer than they should, when you reach for something familiar and it doesn't feel as good. I wish the absence moved you the way it's been moving me. I wish you missed me too, the way I can't help but be. I don't need you to come back or undo what we became. I just wish there was a crack where I still exist in your name. Funny how I'm learning to let go while still hoping you never did. I'm standing on the edge of both, of moving on and what we were. I wish you missed me too, but maybe you already let it go. Maybe I'm the only one still holding on to what we don't know, and I'm trying to see it through without rewriting what was true. I wish you missed me too, even if you never do. We talked about years like they were already ours, like time was something we could keep, tracing constellations between passing cars, making promises we didn't know how to keep. There was a softness in the way you stayed, like nothing could pull you away. I built a future in the words you gave, without thinking they might change. We stood so close to something real, I could almost touch the end. But almost has a way of stealing what could have been. We were almost forever, almost something that wouldn't break, almost learning how to weather every risk we were afraid to take. We were close enough to remember, but not enough to remain. We were almost forever, and that's what makes it stay. I replay the nights we didn't sleep, talking like we had all the time. You said love was something we could keep if we just learned how to align. But somewhere between then and now, the rhythm slipped out of our hands, and I'm still trying to figure out how we turned into something unplanned. There's a version of us that still exists in the space we left behind, where nothing ever went like this, and you're still mine. We were almost forever, almost something we couldn't lose, almost holding it together, with nothing left to prove. We were close enough to remember, but too far to remain. We were almost forever, and that's what brings the pain. I don't think we failed, not really. We just stopped right before the end, like a story that pauses gently and never learns how to begin again. Strange how something so close to real can feel harder to let go of than what was. I'm still holding on to the feel of everything we almost was. We were almost forever, but forever never came. Just a word we held together, till it slowly slipped away. And now I carry the echo of never, where slips in quietly between my thoughts, like it knows the way without a sound. I don't even notice when it starts, just suddenly you're all around. I could be anywhere, doing nothing at all, and something small pulls me back instead. And before I can catch the fall, I'm already there in my head. There's a habit I haven't outgrown, a reflex I can't defend. Even when I'm fully alone, it finds me again. I still call your name in my head, like it's gonna reach you somehow, like the distance we never said doesn't exist right now. And I know there's nothing left, no reason to hold on to it, but I still call your name in my head, like I never learned to quit. We used to stay, and I swear I hear your voice, not loud, just enough to sway every part of me that has a choice. There's a version of me that still replies, answers questions you never asked, like I'm keeping something alive in the silence I never unpack. I've been trying to quiet it down, turn it into something less, but it circles back around. Every time I rest, I still call your name in my head, like it hasn't lost its place, like I'm not better off instead of chasing what I can't replace. And I know it's all been said in ways we can't revisit, but I still call your name in my head, like I'm not done with it. Sometimes I stop and I almost speak, like you're standing right next to me. It's a habit that's grown too deep to disappear that easily. Funny how a name can stay even when everything else has gone. I've been trying to push it away, but it's where my thoughts still run. I still call your name in my head, but it echoes differently now. Not as loud as it used to get, just enough to wonder how. And maybe one day it'll fade into something I don't revisit, but tonight I still let it stay. I still call your name, even when I don't mean to. Said it like I meant it that night, where closure could fit in a sentence. You nodded once, turned off the light, and I stood there rehearsing acceptance. I walked away like people do, straight line, no looking behind. But every step kept pulling me through to something I hadn't untied. There's a difference between letting go and just loosening your hold. I told myself I'd never know which one I chose. I let you go, but not really. Not in the ways that matter most. You still exist in every maybe, in every place I come close. And I say I'm done, say I'm healing, like I've moved on completely. I let you go, but not really. I stopped saying your name out loud, like that would quiet the feeling, but it lingers just under the sound of everything I'm concealing. There's a version of us I replay in moments I can't explain, when nothing ever slipped away and I didn't have to pretend. I've been living in almost truths, half free, but not quite gone. There's a part of me still choosing you, even when I know I'm wrong. I let you go, but not really. Not in the way I should have done. You're still the ghost in everything I compare to everyone. And I try to act indifferent, easy, like it never got to me. I let you go, but not really. Sometimes I think I held on to the idea more than the person you were. But even knowing that doesn't make it clearer or make the feeling blur. Strange how I can walk away and still be standing where you left me. I've been drifting in yesterday while pretending I'm finally free. I let you go, but not really. But I'm starting to see it now, that letting go isn't just leaving, it's not turning around somehow. And maybe one day I'll mean it completely, without the weight you give me. I let you go, but not really. But I'm learning